It's been far too long, man. Far too long. Huge. As we're diving into game one, and spawning in the top right hand corner of our Kiona, we have the only Zerg player in the quarterfinals. We have the Red Zerg representing Talent Esports, the best Zerg player in all of South Korea. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Bleed Esports. It is NightMare. See, but it's Gumiho. Gumiho doesn't follow the meta. True. That's very true. I didn't even get to mention that. If you're referring to Gumiho playing that Banshee style, yeah, it is very out of meta nowadays. Of course, Gumiho would whip it out. Yeah, that's also why I love casting Gumiho, because he is a little bit more unorthodox. He's a little bit more unique as a player. Always a lot of fun. So diving into our ZvP. For the time being, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here from Dark. Likewise, NightMare calming things down as well. Now, NightMare has been looking like a beast as of late. You would remember from last night's KFC, NightMare did 2-0 Bjorn, not just in KFC, but I believe he 2-0'd Bjorn in the previous KSL as well. No, not KSL, in the previous ESL Open Cup Asia as well. Again, NightMare has been taking down some big Korean Terran players time and time again. Players like Bjorn, players like Kyor, players like Clem, more consistently. I do think that NightMare's current best matchup is PvT. He's looking not too shabby in PvP either, but PvZ has always been his kind of his Achilles heel. It has always been his weakest matchup for a long time. In saying that, NightMare has also been improving there as well. Like, NightMare has been becoming more and more of a contender here for deeper and deeper runs in these tournaments. Recently, NightMare, he was able to bring down Solar, I think, a couple of times. He has defeated Dark in these online weeklies as well. Like, it feels like NightMare has been really leveling up ever since he joined, no, even before he joined his new team. I want to say this year specifically, 2024, these past couple of months, NightMare has just been improving so much. It's been really cool to see his growth. Has really leveled up over the past couple months, and in saying that, if this was 2023, I would say that Dark is the favorite player. Nowadays, I would say Dark is still favored, but NightMare, I can definitely see him winning. Like, we've seen it before, we could see it again. Personally, I would love to see an ace match. It's been nothing but 2-0s tonight. It's been purely 2-0s every series so far. I would love an ace match, but we'll see. Ooh, hello, as we are opening up with a Void Ray. Okay. It's going to be a Void Ray opener by NightMare. With this, he's going to shut down the Overlord and ideally hide his tech. Now, this could be to go into a second Stargate and Skytoss, could be for a Twilight Council into Glaives, could be Twilight Council into Fast Blink, or it could be into a Forge into a standard game. Regardless, the goal here is to keep Dark guessing, as this Void Ray is going to be hunting down as many Overlords as possible. The downside is that because we open up Void Ray, there's no Oracle to harass. Like, the Oracle count is going to be lower here for NightMare. So Dark's economy should be looking solid. First Overlord goes down, does supply lock Dark. Lings pulling back. Third base getting secure. And we are following this up with the Oracle. Thankfully, Dark is getting ready. We have Spores on the way in the main, Spores on the way in the natural. Ooh, going for a fast lair. Okay, a 4-minute lair timing here for Dark. And this is why I love Dark, is that even if he doesn't know what's going on, even if he's blind as to what his opponent's doing, he is willing to be aggressive nonetheless. Willing to be in the face of the Protoss player. With mixed success, right? Like, do love to see it. Now, the Oracle does dip in. Big scout for NightMare. He will... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he's going to confirm the lair timing, but he does not get eyes on the lair. That is a little bit concerning. NightMare does split the fourth. Now, with this fast lair, how many gases are we on? So far, still only one gas. I'm curious where we are taking this. If we had additional gases, this could be for a fast hydrogen. Lings are flooding out as we have 20 lings in production. Fourth base is saved. Additional queens all the way for a Nidus. Okay, it's going to be a Ling Queen Nidus all in. That is the purpose of the lair. And again, NightMare could piece this together if only he had scouted. And again, he did not see the lair, which means he doesn't know to look out for something like a Nidus Worm. And Dark is going for the all in. And NightMare has no idea how the turns have tabled. Back at home, NightMare going for a standard transition into Blink and +1, which means he's vulnerable. NightMare is vulnerable right now. Void Ray into the main. Lings are amassing. And we are waiting for that Nidus. There we go. Nidus behind the army. NightMare has no idea. Back at home, we have one shield battery. We have a handful of adepts, and they're about to be surrounded. A couple of oracles, but that's what the queens are for. As the queens, they're coming. And Nidus Swarm does complete. Nidus Swarm on the other side of the wall as well. Let's go. Lings are fleeing across the map, looking for the surround. The wall looking to be compromised. No shield batteries at the natural. No shield battery, no overcharge. Queens are waddling in. The Nidus Swarm does not finish, or does finish, but doesn't get shut down. But we're here to knock down the wall regardless. Oracle falls. Cybercore goes down, which means they cannot warp in Stalkers or Adepts, only Zealots. They're going to be slow lots. And shield battery runs out of energy. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going down. And we're slowly waddling into that natural. I mean, the site defense is finishing. The Immortal's on the way. We need a couple more seconds for that Immortal. Backup shield battery does complete. Lings are being cleaned up. And we are still holding on to the third base. Not too bad. But what about the queens? What about the queens? We focus on the wall. The wall is open. We can still flood in. Like I thought, like the wall off was looking good, but yeah, Lings they bust into the main base. Queens they catch the Void Ray. They can focus on the third. Interesting. Dark actually pulling out of the main. Oh, there was Zealots. Does pull out of the main. Does hit the third. Yeah, we do lure the army out. Immortal is surrounded. Blink is done, but Blink doesn't matter. They focus on everything else. We have so many transfuse. And finally, we're dealing damage. Finally, we get every single probe here at the third. We catch all the Zealots. We catch the Immortal. This is the army. This is all we have left for NightMare. A handful of Zealots, slow lots, and one Stalker. The third is going down. Behind this, Dark throws down a Baneling Nest. Let's go. Still massing more Lings. Rallying drones across the map. Throwing down Spine. Calm down, Dark. But sure. Spine Crawler's on the way to help knock down this wall. I mean, Queens don't have the best DPS against buildings, but Lings, they flood in and they get us around on the sentries. And again, NightMare just did not have enough time to react to this to respond. His defense was impressive nonetheless. Was holding for quite some time. But again, he just had no idea. He was not able to scout, not able to confirm the lair timing or the Nidus Worm. Not see what he needed to. And here come the Spine Crawlers. They're waddling in. Waddling into the natural base. Charge is now done. But we have Banelings. And now we have those Banelings ready for the charge lots. Spine Crawlers do burrow in. Banelings going straight for the shield battery. Shield battery does survive. Surprisingly. Does survive a little bit longer, but is focused down. And now we have done it. We have broken through. NightMare held for so long, but again was just barely treading water. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Dark winning the game in very dark fashion. Dark, known for his aggression in especially the ZvP matchup, known for like Ling Queen Nidus all-ins, or you know, German taxis, or even we just walk across the map. Hyper aggression here out of Dark, and again, unfortunately, NightMare just wasn't able to confirm and wasn't able to scout. That's one of the big factors here defending against this kind of all-in, is getting a read on what your opponent's up to. NightMare had no idea. Now we're sailing into game number 2. Let's go. And again, no fear out of Dark. You know, it was a Void Ray opener. Dark had no idea if it was like Glaive of Depths as a follow-up or, you know, some kind of charge all in. No fear. Just go all in yourself. True, true. The Dark way. Look, they can't all in you if you all in them first. Exactly, exactly. So smart. As we're diving into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Talent Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Bleed Esports. It is NightMare. Let's go. Él no sabe, papi, no sabe. True. The first rule of the Zerg Club is you don't talk about the Zerg Club. Oh, I understand. Zark is going for a proxy hatch, by the way. Hello, Mr. Drone. Where are we going? We're going across the map. We are going for a proxy hatchery. So this is, I believe, for a hatch block. Ooh, never mind. Hatchery was thrown down. Okay. So usually, if this probe did block this base, then Dark goes for the hatch block himself. He still might do so. Yeah, he's got the money for it. He does have the money for it. Drone does arrive, and there it is. Hatchery is thrown down. Now, this is not for cheese. This is not for an all-in. Remember, we are still expanding back at home. This is to force a reaction, to force the voice to be pulled, and deal economic damage. This is a big delay on the expansion, and a big delay on mining time from these workers. We even forced out the Zealot. So this does cause a big reaction here from NightMare, and Dark is just chilling. He's able to freely drone. The downside is that Dark, his spawning pool and his gas are later than normal. That is true. His queen is going to be later than normal as well. But, you know, the damage that is dealt here makes up for that. As Dark is running. Oh, Dark even catching the probe as well. Nice catch there from Dark. Hatchery under fire. Now, Dark should be canceling this hatchery. He can try to go for a second hatch block or dive into the main and steal the gas. So we go do cancel. Diving into the main. NightMare should have a hold position probe here at the gas geyser. There we go. Probe does get off. Does get in position. We do take the gas. Just before Dark gets there. Dark able to get a free full scout. And NightMare has yet to expand. Dark already getting into 2 bases and has a 3rd on the way. So a nice cheeky move here by Dark. We'll mess with the mineral mining here in the main as well. And now it's on NightMare to get some counter damage. Adept shades out. Remember, queens were delayed. But without queens, this Adept could get a lot done. Sifar catching a couple of lings. Do manage to get 3 link kills. Zealot has arrived. Applying pressure to the 3rd base, forcing lings from Dark. The drone does go down, and it's going to be a Stargate opener here by NightMare. Again, the Stargate is later than normal. And Dark is not droning up too much. We'll see if he makes more link. Okay, we're droning. I was like, we made a lot of links, Papi. I did make a lot of links, so it looks like we're just taking the Adepts Array seriously. We are droning now from here on out. Thankfully. I was like, are we going for a link flood? Are we just sending it? I don't know. Calming things down. Overlord does confirm the Oracle. Oracle is confirmed. Link speed is finishing up. We do pull out of gas, so we're not going to be prioritizing a lair or anything like that. So as we do pull back in, never mind. We're pulling back in. We'll see what that gas is spent on. As Dark is looking to try and delay the 3rd base. 3rd gets thrown down just in time. And Dark a couple of seconds too late to deny it. And the game is going to calm down. We're going to just calm things down. We're droning up. Oracles are moving out. Finally at the 4-minute 30 mark. And Dark does have a spore at the natural. 2 queens at the third. It's worth a natural. We're okay. We are going to be okay here. NightMare behind this, going for his own Twilight Council. Interesting. That's going to be a Twilight Council on its own. I don't see a Forge. And if we don't see a Forge soon, this could be for a much more aggressive build. So this could be for Glaive Adepts or Blink Stalkers. Lairs on the way. 5-minute lair timing. More standard lair timing here from Dark. Okay, there's the Forge. Forge is on the way. This should be for Blink. Overlord will confirm. As we get eyes on the Forge and the Twilight Council. No additional gateways. No aggression. Just upgrades. Just upgrades on the way. Gateways now being thrown down. I believe that's going to be a 5, soon to be a 6 gate setup, which is what we expect to be seeing. If we go more than 6 gateways, then we'll point it out. As the Oracles take a lot of damage, they're going for a cancel on the 4th. Up! And do we force the cancel? Casito, and it looks like we barely do. 4th base is denied. The pick off there from NightMare. Does pull back. Dark investing into Roaches, now throwing down a Hydra Den, so he's playing Roach Hydra. Very robust mid-game composition here from Dark. And NightMare has, stuck on 6 gates. So only 6 gateways, which means we should be looking to take more gases, looking to throw down a 4th base. Looks like NightMare plans on macroing from here. We'll see. We'll see, as we have yet to take any gases. Lings do slip in. Oh! They do attempt to slip in. Yeah, gas is being taken. Which means NightMare has the ability to take up, and we are taking not in the direction that I thought we would. Okay, I was waiting for a Robot, I was waiting for a Bay, I was waiting for Colossus or Storm, not Skytoss. Okay. Alright, NightMare. You got my attention. I'm ready for it. As once again we force another cancel with the 4th. Very nice, actually. NightMare, that's the 2nd time we've delayed the 4th base. Dark stuck with an even base count to the Protoss, something you never want to see. NightMare marauding around, catching Overlords, rushing into Skytoss. Now, this is a really risky maneuver. Dark doesn't know, but the scary thing right now, as Dark has been denied the 4th a couple too many times, is that Dark isn't droning. Dark, he's cutting workers at 69. Nice. And he's amassing Roach Hydra. He's amassing Roach Hydra. And if Dark pushes anytime soon, NightMare is going to be in trouble. Like, again, NightMare, it takes a while to get into Skytoss. We invested so heavily here into this, which means there's no splash damage. There's no Storm. There's no Disruptors. There's no Colossus and no Archons. We have a very limited army right now, and we'll see what Dark can get done. Dark being somewhat active, but he throws down Infestation Pit, which means he plans on droning. The pit should be for a Hive. NightMare out on the map. Dark slipping by. NightMare does not spot this. We're busting in. When we do scout the Cybercore, big scout here for Dark. Cybercore researching means one and one thing only. It means +1 air attack. So Dark is aware. Does head towards that 3rd, rotates back over towards the natural. And Dark almost maxed out on Roach Hydra. And so far, we are breaking through. The Cybercore goes down. No more Stalkers. No more Stalkers can be walked in. +1 is denied. And we do start to step forward. Stalkers are going down left and right. At the same time, we're busting into the natural. We're breaking through. We are breaking through. And again, we mentioned it again. This was the winner. This was the timing that Dark needed. Because NightMare just was not ready. Again, this is when NightMare was the most vulnerable. The carriers have arrived, but it doesn't matter. We're into the natural. We have busted through. Probes are falling. And 1 or 2 carriers is not going to do anything here. It's just not enough DPS. Not enough carriers. NightMare, he needed more time. Mothership does come in. We do activate the cloak. Oh, we snipe a carrier. We snipe a carrier at the natural as well. 21 workers go down, and NightMare barely has an army. Barely has anything left. And GG gets called. The writing is on the wall. Dark will take the series at 2-0, punishing the tech, punishing the greed there of NightMare, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a risky move out of NightMare to rush into SkyToss in such a way. The problem here is that he needed his opponent to be a little bit more defensive and passive, and that's just not Dark. Like, again, Dark didn't even know that SkyToss was on the way, but he was still moving out and aiming for a push, aiming for a move out with his Roaches and Hydras. I mean, Dark was throwing down an Infestation Pit, so he was thinking further ahead. But regardless, he was being aggressive, and as soon as he saw the Cybercore, he committed. He just committed with everything he had. He knew that he had to go for the kill then and there, and was able to break NightMare before Carriers got out of hand. On the flip side, it's a little bit on NightMare here. NightMare, if you want to play like this, I do think he needed to be more active with his Stalkers. If you remember, his Stalkers were on the edge of creep, and they were just chilling. They were just chilling on the edge of creep. He was denying the 4th base, but we needed to be more active. If we were, ideally, we force Dark back home, right? We force him to stay back at home. We force Dark to dance with the Blink Stalkers and to focus on dealing with the army instead of counterattacking. Unfortunately, I do think that NightMare was a little bit too tentative with his army and with his Stalkers because he had to do something to distract Dark, to keep him busy. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Dark does take the series, and NightMare does bow out. Does bow out in the end. And with that, we are getting ready for our semifinals. Okay, we have our semifinals soon ready and waiting for us. I need a moment to set things up, but it's going to be Hero versus Gumiho. We casted Hero taking down Trap earlier. We casted Gumiho taking down Classic. So it's Hero versus Gumiho in the upper semifinals. In the lower semifinals, we have Dark, who just advanced on, and is going to be facing off against Beyond in a TVZ. Ah, let's go. A very spicy series. So Dark versus Beyond and Gumiho versus Hero will be taking place after the break. Again, we're just going to be cutting the broadcast in half. Take this moment to hydrate your Hydras, stretch your Roaches, massage your Marines, and cuddle your Carriers. After the break, we'll be back with the semifinals and then the grand finals of the tournament. See you soon. See you soon.